Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is going to be the video I said I was going to keep up with a couple weeks ago, where I do at the beginning of the month a look into the MLB stats and at the end of the month. Of course, still to date, it's still April, so some of these stats are not going to necessarily be skewed, but they will be a little bit, but they will be from people you would not expect to be in the top of some statistics because it is early on. We're going to start first with the standings. So, of course, now with our loss last night, I would do a look ahead to the Phillies game momentarily after this video. This is the second to last of the day. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. The Mets and Phillies are tied for top of the NL East, .5 back. You got the Braves at 11 and 10. Then you have the Nationals, 1.5 back. Then you have the Marlins, who are in a rebuilding process. Same with the Central. You have a tie at the top between the Pittsburgh Pirates and St. Louis Cardinals, with Milwaukee a game back, Chicago 2 games back, and Cincinnati 4.5 back. You have in the West, the Dodgers are ahead by 2.5 over the D-backs, who are also tied with San Diego, who is 2.5 behind. You have the Rockies and San Francisco that are not starting off as well, that are farther behind, 4.5 and 5.5 respectively. Tampa is still leading the AL East, 2.5 above New York, 5.5 above Boston, the former World Series champ, 4 above Toronto, and then Baltimore, of course, is also in a rebuilding process at 7.5 back, tied for the most games back. Kansas City's also 7.5 get back in the Central, of which Minnesota leads by 1.5 over Cleveland right now. A good start to the season. They showed on MLB Network Quick Pitch the other day hitting statistics, and the Twins lead in some of those hitting statistics, and it's just really been a change of pace with how their offense is this year compared to last year. Last year, they were a team that, kind of similar to the A's a couple years ago, that just found ways to win. Last year, the A's were a great team. I don't know if you remember that team. I believe it was in 2016. They just found ways to win. They came back a lot and did all that type of stuff to just find ways to win ball games. And you have Seattle. You have 16 and 9, which is still 1.5 above Houston, and then two games above Texas. 4 above Oakland, and 6 above LA, who's still in a feeling out, figuring it out process. Now, with the big statistics, you have average. Cody Bellinger is still wheeling and dealing and killing it. He has 11 home runs and 28 RBIs so far, hitting .424. He also made a great catch in the outfield the other day, robbing a home run to the announcer, saying, "Is there anything Cody Bellinger cannot do?" At this point, no, there isn't. You got Tim Anderson playing very well, Jorge Polanco playing very well. Tim Anderson also has 9 stolen bases to go with his .403 average. Jorge Polanco's playing very well, and then as John Kruk was talking about how good of a hitter the Mets' Jeff McNeil is, which just adds another proponent to the NL East with having great hitting and battling it out all season. He has 1 home run and 11 RBIs, his 1 home run coming yesterday, of course. Carlos Santana has a .379 average in 5th, and then right behind him, Rendon, .371 at 6. Elvis Andrus is 7. 8 is Austin Meadows, the youngster. Hayward is tied for 8, having a good start to his season, which is good to see for him, struggling back up and down past couple years. And then J.D. Martinez is 10th at .350. So those names are recognizable names for a lot of baseball fans, but not all people you would think would be in the top 10. Austin Meadows is a great young talent, and he's going to keep getting better and better. Bellinger, of course, has all the potential in the world. Anderson as well. Jorge Polanco, been up and down. Nice to see him there. Jeff McNeil, like Crucker said, is just a great hitter. Carlos Santana, you, of course, don't expect to be hitting for average as much as he is, but he's really the best hitter on the Indians so far. Rendon and Andrus, you expect Rendon to be up there. Andrus has been up and down the past recent years, so you don't necessarily expect that. And for anybody that follows the game enough, you will know Christian Yelich was on a home run and still on a home run hitting frenzy. I don't think he hit one last game, but it's one game. He has 13 home runs. He himself has a very good average at .337 with 31 RBIs. It's just you have all these guys hitting above 400 now, which is not putting him in the top. For average, Bellinger's second with 11. You have two people tied for 10. Chris Davis, Jock Peterson, Jay Bruce, Paul Goldschmidt, Eddie Rosario all have 9. Pete Alonso, Jose Altuve, Joey Gallo, Marcell Ozuna, Dan Vogelbach all have 8. And then Hunter Dozier, Mitch Haniger, Mitch Moreland, double Mitches right there. Christian Walker, Ronald Acuna Jr. Christian Walker ends with having 7. Acuna has 6. So then we look at RBIs. As said, with Yelich is 31, he leads. Second is Bellinger with 28. Danny Santana has 26. Joey Gallo 22. Pete Alonso 21, and 21 also for Chris Davis and Alex Gordon. Eddie Rosario 20. Dansby Swanson 20. So another great young up-and-coming hitter starting to get it done in the NL East. Austin Meadows 19 and Maikel Franco, Philly's own, 18. Tied with Goldie, Haniger, Hoskins on his own teammate, Yamagata, Ozuna, Rendon, and George Springer at 18 ribbies. Stolen bases, Tim Anderson leads with 9. D. Gordon, Billy Hamilton have 8. Modesty and Malik Smith, butchered that 2 times, have 7. And then DeShields, Tommy Pham, Trevor Story, Jonathan Villar have 6. Merrifield and Ramirez have 5. Elvis Andrews, Bellinger, and Buxton, and Eden, and Garcia, and Gore, and Danny Santana, and so on and so forth, have 4. So now looking at pitching real quick, as I'm going to make this video end at the latest 10 minutes. Mitch Fried leads with a 1.38, or Max Fried leads with a 1.38 ERA, and Luis Castillo has a 1.47. Glass now has a 1.53 even after a shaky start his last outing. Shoemaker, who unfortunately went down for the season, blessings and prayers go out for him. He's going to come back even stronger. Have said a very motivational piece after getting injured on Twitter. So for anybody that wants to check that out as very motivational words for getting through adversity. Musgrove 1.59, Stroman 1.76, Blake Snell 2.16, Trevor Bauer 2.20, German Marquez 2.25, and Smith on the Pirates, on the Marlins, who's doing very well for them, as a 2.35. So with wins, I'm going to look at the top 2 here because there's so many people with 3, including some relief pitchers. In the top, you have Gonzalez and Glasnow with 4. At 3, you have Brett Anderson, Andresi, Jake Arrieta, Barrios, Castro, Chirinos, Doolittle, Fried, Gant, German, I think it's how you say that name, or German, I don't know how you say the Yankees guy's name, German, German, or Domingo, Yerman, I don't know how you say it. Hamels, Kelly, Lucchesi, Maeda, McHugh, Montas, Rondon, Rodriguez, Shoemaker, Verlander, Walden, Alcantara, Anderson, another Anderson. There's a lot of Andersons having the second. So those are guys with 3 and 2 win, respectively. So strikeouts right now, I'll just read the top 2. You have Garrett Cole and Max Scherzer tied with 44. Then you have James Paxton with 43. So this has been a look into some of the big stats. I will continue to do this. There will be another video soon, since I try to do it at the beginning of the month to the beginning of May, which is very shortly up and coming. I will have another video looking into the baseball stats. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. Enjoy the wonderful weather. Peace.